Look at us. Just a bunch of losers. Just a bunch of I was thinking about this. Hello, Izzy Gutierrez, Stugotz and Company. Hey, Stu. Hey, Taylor. Hey, Mikey. I was thinking about this last night as I'm watching Kansas City and the Giants just put together a shit first half. And I'm like, at least if I'm whoever the most famous Chiefs fan is, Nick Wright, at least I have this.
Taylor Swift,
right?
probably.
Taylor, yeah, you know. At least I have this. At least I have, hey, we're back on track. We played terribly. We still have the quarterback and the defense that can do something. And look at that little kerfuffle that Andy Reid and Travis Kelce got into. They still have heart. They still want it. At least I have that. But the Dolphins, 0-3, feels like forever ago. They went 0-3. The Jets, man, finding new ways to lose.
Yes.
Taylor's now. I know whoever Taylor's pro team is wherever who goes.
Mac Hollins.
Wherever Mac Hollins goes.
Right.
So Mac is with the Patriots now and has a win against my losers. And his UNC team is a whole nother question. And Mikey, the Jets. What did the Jets do yesterday that made you feel like you've experienced something you'd never experienced before?
They didn't do anything different. They just did it in a different way. I got a text as soon as they block a field goal, pick it up, run it back, take the lead. And I immediately got a text that said, oh my God, we're going to win. And I wrote, no, we are absolutely not going to win this game. It was never in doubt.
Thank you.
I was at the coach dancing down the sidelines when there was still
Izzy,
a minute 45 left. Was that what worried you?
No. Izzy,
No.
yes. Too much time was left on the clock. Let me explain to you what it is me and Mikey A go through.
Okay.
That play happens. We're excited. We have the lead. We realize there's over a minute left on the clock, and Baker Mayfield is playing quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I turned to my wife and I said, the game's over. And she said, what do you mean the game's over? The Jets won? And I said, no, the Bucs have won. And she didn't understand until the Bucs won.
One of the most exciting ways you could, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. One of the most exciting ways you could finish a game. One of the most exciting ways you could take the lead, complete a comeback. Just crazy exciting. But exactly that. It's not just that you look up at the clock and say, wow, there's a lot of time and these are the Jets. But they also just happen to do it against the quarterback who's already had 2 game-winning drives and just did one. The drive before that.
Yes.
Or that drive rather. And you're going to give him another chance? Like, come on, Jets.
Well,
like, it's too predictable.
Listen, the alternative, and I swear to you, I was thinking this at the time, was it Will McDonald, Mikey?
Yes.
He should have fell at the 25-yard line.
Yep. The only problem is they still needed a touchdown. If we fell at the 25-yard line, we're not scoring.
I'd rather lose that way.
We spent all week last week talking about, hey, you know who you really want in a 2-minute situation? Baker. You know who the guy, you know who's moving up that list? Baker. And you know what the Jets did?
Handed it to him.
Give him another shot.
Sure.
We've been good.
I know you guys are miserable today after the Jets lose in that fashion, but as objective football fans, you could all agree that Aaron Glenn strutting up and down the sideline like that, it was funny.
It was funny. And also, like, in the same way that you knew that Aaron Rodgers running with that American flag on that first game was going to come back to bite him in the ass almost immediately.
Yep.
You knew the same shit was going to happen to Aaron Glenn, and it did not take very long.
Yep.
Stu, I ask you as somebody who's been through all the losing, do you want somebody who's doing the Aaron Glenn, I'm going to run and dance on the sideline and be all, or do you want the person who's always stoic and then you get mad when you're like, how can you not be so angry right now? How are you not so happy right now? Or do you want the highs and lows, or do you want the never move? Do you want the Todd Bowles?
I mean, I'll give you an answer because you asked me a question, but the truth is it doesn't really matter. They all result in losses.
It doesn't matter at all.
But also, again, you guys are doing this whole like doom and gloom thing. Wouldn't you agree that might be one of the best losses? That might be one of the best losses in Jets history. If your goal is, hey, let's go get a quarterback, This is the exact game you guys need to lose. You can't go.
Great point.
Cade
Two
Columbus
out of these
is
3
my answer to
losses,
that.
very, very entertaining.
Wait, but hold on a second. But if the Jets win that game, Taylor, wow, it's such a great question. I understand what you're saying. They lost the right way. It was entertaining. They kept me entertained. My friend, he has he's a Dolphin fan, and he judges wins and losses now by whether or not he was entertained. If he was entertained, he puts 1 in the win column.
Yeah, and it's a lot harder to do.
Even if they lost the
Jets
game.
are 2-1 this year, huh?
Mikey, we're undefeated.
No, we were not entertained
You're
in that
right,
Buffalo game. We're 2-1.
Somehow the Dolphins are 0-6 because that's how boring they've been to watch.
Fair.
But the other New York team had me going for a second, and it was basically this. So you had the Giants losing. Who'd the Giants lose to?
Chiefs.
Lost to the Chiefs.
Chiefs
last
are
night,
back.
right?
Yeah.
And first half was terrible. Nobody was any good. Second half, the Giants, other than Cam Scatterboot, nobody was any good. Russell Wilson hearing the boos and people chanting for Jackson Dart. All right. Listen, here's my take on Russell Wilson and the New York Giants. Russell doesn't need this shit. Russell doesn't need, if anything, we've already talked about him playing his way out of the Hall of Fame. Let's be honest, he was never going to play his way back into the Hall of Fame on shitty teams. He was only going to do that on a quality team. So he's never going to play his way back in.
Against the Cowboys, I got to tell you, he was.
Right. I mean, maybe. But wouldn't it be better to just leave with that much of your integrity? To just leave with, just be like, man, you can still remember when I went to 2 Super Bowls and won 1, right? Because right now, it's hard to envision this guy and that sad face on the sideline. He does not give a shit. Danger Russ does not exist anymore. He doesn't care about anything, and he just needs to retire because I feel like he's lost, if he had any mojo whatsoever, has lost every ounce of it in New York.
So are you saying that Russell Wilson should have went out last week against the Cowboys?
Maybe at halftime of this week. Give it one more go. Just be like, hey, let me get some love here. And then just call it. Be like, hey, the fans want Dart. This isn't going anywhere between me and you. I'm so tired of hearing Jameis Winston in the freaking quarterback room talk about all this nonsense and eating W's. And I'm over it. I'm over it. And just go. I don't think anybody would put that as a negative for Russell Wilson. I think that would be in the positive column for him and maybe even gets him into the Hall of Fame by that much.
Feel like he needs to fake an injury. I think he needs to have a season-ending injury. They go, I was so close. I was right there, but this hamstring, this turf toe. What did Joe Burrow? Turf toe. Yeah, that's what I have too. I can't do it. I guess you have to go.
Yeah, but he should have done it right after the Dallas game. That's, I think, right?
Well, at one point you think maybe I could put it together. Maybe I can. No, you can't. No.
If he does it after that game and he says to everybody, oh, I was playing through something in that injury, still fought through it, didn't win, but still fought through it, and now I'm done. I think that probably would have been the way to go. But
I'm so jealous of Bucs fans, man. I really am. Congratulations. I mean, you have the prize quarterback. Listen, some people might think it's Joe Burrow. Some people might think it's Patrick Mahomes. Others might think it's Jalen Hurts. Nah. Tampa's got the guy. Listen, you will lead the league in entertaining games, okay, if you have Baker Mayfield.
Look,
you might lose a few, but they'll all be entertaining, okay?
I haven't really made this public.
He's the quarterback now.
Mikey, sorry about that. I haven't really made this public, but I have a very, very giant beef with the city of Tampa. I used to give them shit about, claiming that they created the Cuban sandwich when it wasn't true. And I think you can probably document that it was true. They should get credit for the Cuban sandwich. But Tampa doesn't deserve all of this, man. They don't deserve the hockey championships. They don't deserve, dude, they won a title in football in 2003. I was a fully formed adult by then. The Dolphins haven't done shit since I was a child. And Tampa just doesn't deserve all that. And now they've got the greatest alternate uniforms in the history of football because those things look amazing. And they got Baker. And it's what the hell do the Dolphins have to do?
And they had Brady before that.
Brady. I know we tried to get Brady and screwed that up.
Right.
But speaking of the alternate uniforms, up until yesterday, they had not won in those orange creamsicles.
And
in
those creamsicles.
And I'm sitting there looking at I'm talking to myself. I'm going, if you really need, because those are the greatest alternate uniforms there is, the orange creamsicles. If you need a win and you're looking at the schedule, you know exactly which game you circle to make sure you turn that around. You circle the Jets game week 3, and you know what? They got it.
So I'm trying to figure out what we're saying Tampa Bay deserves and doesn't deserve right now. The Rays, they deserve the Rays.
Yeah. The scrappy team that nobody really pays attention to, doing it in ways that we don't really understand, doesn't really take over the sport. They're just there. You have to pay them some respect. I like you guys. I like the way you're doing that. But just winning Super Bowls, like multiple Super Bowls. I mentioned the 2003 one. I completely blacked out on the Tom Brady one. Like completely blacked out on that one. Like they do not deserve Tom Brady gifting you with a post-COVID Super Bowl. Here you go. And so I think they deserve what they are. A nice
they deserve
place
the
to
lightning.
visit.
Do they just like? I like where Taylor's headed here. Let's figure out what Tampa deserves and doesn't deserve. Do they deserve the Tampa Bay Lightning?
What about Tampa before the Lightning started winning the championships made you think there's a city that loves them some hockey? There's a city that rich in hockey.
I'm sorry.
You're
Are you talking
Izzy.
from the same place that has the Panthers?
Yes.
Like,
Here's the
come on,
thing.
man.
What the Lightning did
That
was
was
open the
Sunrise
door.
more deserving of a Stanley Cup champion than Tampa.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because the Lightning opened the door for that possibility, for that rivalry. And it's like, wait a second. Those motherfuckers don't deserve all this shit. We're a better city to live in. We're a better franchise. We're going to win these things. And sort of, I think they own the idea that we're not supposed to be this, right? Throwing the cup into the ocean, all that stuff. They own that. Tampa Bay never owned that. I think it's, look, Tampa, don't even get me started on USF. Why do they deserve USF? Change the name of that thing. It's not in South Florida.
Izzy, I just looked up your glass house on Zillow. It looks pretty nice.
Yeah. How about that?
Look, nobody has ever said, I'm going to retire, unless you're from South Florida. Nobody has ever said, I'm going to retire and live in Tampa. They want to live in Miami. They want to live in South Florida.
Wait, that's not true. First off,
The best is my
man.
entire family lives in Tampa.
No.
My entire family lives in Tampa.
time out. Everyone slow down. Put it on the polls. Anyone said to themselves, I want to retire in Tampa. Put that on the poll.
Not as the first choice. Not out loud. They say
Right.
Florida. They say Miami, South, Boca Raton. But nobody says Tampa.
Okay.
Fight me.
Taylor, also put this on the poll. Does Tampa deserve any of this?
I even have the Rays. I gave them the Rays.
Right.
I don't even think they deserve that many. I don't know why my voice did that whole thing. I don't even think they deserve that many professional teams.
Right.
Like, it's wild. I don't look. Sorry. I'm jealous.
You're
I'm
lashing,
lashing out.
Yes.
I want Baker Mayfield. I want the creamsicle uniforms.
You're
Hell,
jealous.
I kind of like the Bay side of Florida a little bit more than the ocean side. A
I
little
do
bit
too. I got to be
calmer.
honest. I like the West Coast.
The beach
Yeah.
in Sarasota,
I've thought about
one of the
retiring
best
there.
in the world. But I still don't think they deserve all that. I'm just saying. And
Listen,
if you say this sounds like a loser, it's because I am currently the biggest loser.
let
the
me
biggest.
be very clear to the audience right now. You are listening to 4 fucking losers. Okay. Taylor, put it on the poll. Audience, are you listening to 4 fucking losers?
Yeah.
Because you are. You're listening to 4 losers who are very upset, whose teams stink. Okay, and so we're lashing out at Tampa. Well, at least Izzy is lashing.
I am. So let's move on because I don't want the entire city to get upset with me again. I'm sure they all listen religiously. But there's some other losers in the NFL, so let's just talk about them. Okay. What happened to the Green Bay Packers?
I don't know.
What I know the Cleveland Browns can turn any game into an ugly game, but there was a player on their team who just said last week, I don't think there's anybody that can beat us. And then you lose to the Browns by a field goal. I don't understand it.
If you're down 10-0 if you're up 10-0 in the fourth quarter, Cleveland has you exactly where they want you.
This was one of those games where it's just like, it's week 3. It makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. The Packers have been the best team I've seen with my 2 eyes in the NFC, and Cleveland, frankly, haven't watched them with both eyes. So I don't really know. Just know that their defense is usually good, but this is the type of game that the NFL is like, hell yeah. Now everybody's confused. We don't know who's good. Even the Rams being up on the Eagles in that game, I thought, that's a lock. Eagles don't make comebacks. They don't. AJ Brown's been shit this year. Jalen Hurts hasn't been throwing the ball. We got Puka. We got Stafford. That connection's been on fire. There's no chance. Oh, shit. Here come the Eagles. And they win that game.
Yeah.
And so the NFL is just probably like, we got you right where we want you week 3, except for some of these loser teams, which their time will come to where you have some kind of hope. Right now, it's utter confusion.
So I think the reason why you can't put the Packers in the biggest loser category after this week is week 1 and week 2, they built up some good grace.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not saying they're.
So the second they go on the road against the Browns team, against the bad Browns team, Taylor, I want you to listen to this box score. Okay, I want you to listen to what Joe Flacco did yesterday. This is the box score of a winning quarterback.
Listen to this box
score. This guy won a football game. He was 21 of 36 for 142 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. He was also down 10-0 headed into the fourth quarter, and somehow that team put up 13 points against the Packers defense to win 13-10. It's a lousy team. Green Bay, and this is the beauty of the NFL, and Izzy, you know this. Just when you think a team is great, you find out they're not as good as you thought they were. That's it.
Joe Cool.
Here, I want you to listen to another box score. All right. This was this is the quarterback who went 14 for 20 for 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran twice for 4 yards. Not stunning statistics, right? Didn't sound stunning. 48 points. That was Carson Wentz putting up 48 points against possibly the biggest losers of the weekend, the Cincinnati Bengals, who only scored 10 of their own, and Jake Browning, more like Jake Burt, 140 yards, 2 picks, a 23.7 QBR. And we went from 1 week saying maybe the Bengals can, fend off enough opponents to being a potential playoff team, maybe get there with 8 and 9 with Joe Burrow back, to now we're just like, Carson Wentz did that to you. I don't think you're doing anything.
I would say go look at Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins had to go in for Michael Penix yesterday and might be the starter moving forward in Atlanta. So take that off the board. But the Bengals, they're not a good, it's so amazing to me how much different a team can look and feel without their starting quarterback. And that's what we saw last night, Izzy. The NFL, it's unbelievable. And everyone's starting to think now that Kevin O'Connell, because they're right, it doesn't matter if that guy has a fucking quarterback or not. Just give him any quarterback and he wins with them.
Well, I mean, you mentioned glass houses. How many teams are going to eventually recognize we're building this all wrong when it can break with one injury? Oh, great. We've got these super talented wide receivers. Can't do anything with them if that guy's hurt. So where are you supposed to spend your money? Well, probably in the places where the one guy going down doesn't break down the entire unit.
Only problem with that theory, the Jets have built their entire team around, we don't need the quarterback to do well, and they suck.
Kevin O'Connell would be 3-0 if he was coaching the Jets right now. I mean, I feel like that.
Do you think he did that with Carson Wentz, or was it just like Taylor said that Browning did that to them or Mikey said that, because he did have 2 weeks of the guy he was telling us was going to be the man, J.J. McCarthy, and got one good quarter out of him?
I mean, Carson Wentz was 14 of 20, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good, right?
Quarterback controversy?
It should be.
Just say. Quarterback controversy? Maybe.
We were sold hard on J.J. McCarthy. Hard on J.J. well before he even played regularly. And I think it's all based on, I'm not saying looks, literally, but just he plays the part. The big dude from Michigan looks the quarterback, the part, says all the right things, which are very boring, has the story, isn't a place like Minnesota where, they're ready and wanting to embrace the new franchise quarterback. I just don't think he's it.
I don't know if he's it. I know he was good enough. Okay. He was good enough to get the Eagles the year they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles off to a 10-1 start. A lot of people thought he was going to be the MVP, the NFL MVP that year. And then things happened and they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, and Carson Wentz was no longer a member of the Eagles. I will tell you that Kevin O'Connell has won with worse quarterbacks. Okay. And maybe he resurrects Carson Wentz's career. I have no idea. but I'm not going to put it past that coach. If indeed he has to go with Carson Wentz long term, I'm not putting it past that coach to make it to the playoffs with Carson Wentz. He did it with Sam Darnold. So
Daniel Jones right now clearing away the front runner for comeback player of the year
and MVP.
I was going to say, what award were you going with there? Because it could be MVP.
But what we saw yesterday from Carson Wentz, maybe a little sprinkle on Carson Wentz comeback player of the year.
What a dumb award. It's now going to be what? The quarterback who comes out of nowhere on a bad team? Like, isn't that the Joe Flacco special?
Yep. So the comeback player of the year award stopped meaning anything when they didn't give it to DeMar Hamlin, who came back from death, and they gave it to Joe Flacco.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right.
Are we done?
The guy almost died.
Are we done talking about NFL losers? Because I've got a couple of college losers to go to. I just don't want to jump the gun here.
I'm not done with the NFL yet.
Okay. So where on the list do you put the Rams as losers after that ending? Not necessarily because they did anything terribly wrong, but they had that game. And if you would have stayed, like just win the game, not even have a healthy cushion, I think everybody would have been looking at the Rams and saying that might be the best team in the NFL after the Packers lose to Cleveland.
I think they still are. That's games, it's on the road. The Rams are in that game. By the way, that was a bad beat. If you had the Rams, and if you had the Eagles, God bless you, man. Seriously. But a bad beat.
That was
what,
the 6.5
game. I think people are looking at the Rams today. Stafford came in with the back issues. The Rams were very competitive. Probably should have won that game on the road in Philadelphia against the defending Super Bowl champions. I think people still consider the Rams to be very, very good. Mike, am I wrong on that, Mikey?
No, I was more or less because Izzy said the spread was 6.5. No, I think it was 1.5. So when they were lining up for that field goal, if he makes it, you win. If he misses it, you win. The only thing that couldn't happen if you had the Rams was exactly what happened, that they block it and score a touchdown. That was the only way you weren't getting paid. And that's it.
That happened. I do have this.
It was really 3.5, by the way, on FanDuel. He was 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really have this issue with A.J. Brown. It's just something I need to say about A.J. Brown because they've spent like a lot of time sort of figuring out why he's not getting the football, seem to be pointing at the running game being really good, seem to be pointing at maybe Jalen Hurts not being able to get him the football. I think the thing that's affecting A.J. Brown is, how people would call, was it DeAndre Hopkins? It would just call, it was wide receivers just kind of slant merchants, right? They would just catch the 3-yard slant, and that's how they would get all their stats. Well, A.J. Brown's got one route these days, and that's just the comeback route. And that's, I'm just going to body you. I'm big and strong. Get off me here. Just put it right there. As soon as you see me changing direction, ball's in the air, I got to go get that. And when he did have a couple of big catches, that's basically all that was. And while I do give a dude respect for being able to do all that, being able to, win 50-50 balls as a quarterback, like if that's the route you're running, great. I'm going to trust you every time. But eventually the DBs are going to get used to it. They're just going to back off of you until you slow down and then just read the quarterback because A.J. Brown is no longer a threat to just run past you. And so I guess I say all this to say if people trying to figure out what the problem is with A.J. Brown, I think A.J. Brown himself might be a big part of that problem. I say this without being the Mina Kimes of the world who's going to study a bunch of film. I'm just saying it based on what I've watched the last 3 weeks.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Getting good.
I'm also trying to figure out what we're doing to A.J. Brown. He had 6 catches, 109 yards, a touchdown.
Great. Right.
The Eagles are 17-0 in Jalen Hurts' last 17 starts.
Yeah.
And we're nitpicking where
look where Jalen goes when he needs a big, huge catch. It's Devontae Smith. I mean, he'll just throw it up there for him now. And he's not even the one who's supposed to, in terms of reputation.
I don't know what you're doing to A.J. Brown either. I got to be honest. Here's what I'm doing with Jalen Hurts. I am so tired of
he's about a 94.
I don't know what you're doing with him. I mean, he's made plenty of big catches for that team. I am tired of people telling me Jalen Hurts isn't the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm tired of it. He doesn't throw the ball enough. He's surrounded with good teammates. That team is stacked. Yep, you're right. They are. He's the quarterback. He almost beat Mahomes head-to-head a couple of years ago in the Super Bowl. He did beat him head-to-head last year in the Super Bowl. And when he needs to bail your team out and throw the football like yesterday, He does so and does it very well. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jalen Hurts is a winner. That's what Jalen Hurts is. A winner.
You guys did see what A.J. Brown did the first 2 weeks, right?
Enough with A.J. Brown.
But A.J. Brown deserves a bit of credit there because he does have this
winner.
reputation of being a number one receiver. Like, if he doesn't have a productive week 1 and week 2, it would be pretty easy for him to, come out in the Philadelphia media and be like, I deserve this, I deserve that. The team just keeps finding ways to win. And at some point, like, it's hard to discredit what the Eagles do when after every game, people are like, but they didn't do this, they didn't do this, they didn't do this. But they win. They win every week.
Yes. Yep. They win every week. What do we know in the NFL right now? Like, who do we think is good? We know Buffalo is good, right? We know Buffalo's good. We agree? Everyone agree?
Well, when we say good, we mean Super Bowl good, right? That's what we're saying right now?
Super Bowl good.
Okay.
Sure.
Buffalo Super Bowl good?
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Ravens, I still believe to be Super Bowl good.
Are the Steelers Super Bowl good?
Haven't seen it yet.
No.
Okay.
No.
Are the Colts Super Bowl good?
Oh my God.
Like, this is one of those where the evidence goes against everything I believe, but the evidence currently is yes.
Okay.
They punted the first time in the third quarter or something of the game
first time this year.
3.
Yes. Right.
Like all year.
I know. All year. They go to the Rams next week, though. Okay.
Well,
so they might punt twice. I don't know.
put the kids to bed.
Like, we'll learn more about the Colts when they travel across the country and go to LA. They played Tennessee yesterday.
There's one more in the AFC Super Bowl worthy team right now that I see. And that's
let me see if I can Chargers? Yeah, Chargers.
Dang it, I ruined it.
How about the Chiefs?
They are not. They are not. Again, goes against everything I believe because I believe if they do get Worthy back, if they do get healthier, if they get Rashee Rice back, obviously, which they will, they might look different. But so far, they've shown me Patrick Mahomes can take me to the AFC Championship game level good, but not Super Bowl good yet.
All right. How about the San Francisco 49ers?
Hell no.
Okay, they're 3-0. How about the Buccaneers? We deem good, right? They're good enough.
Yes,
they're not super good to me. Not yet. Not yet.
They're getting an All-Pro left tackle back next week. They're getting one of their wide receivers.
They're getting
back.
Godwin back. Mike Evans got
Godwin
hurt
back, and the rookie here looks even better than But right now, they're at the doorstep to me. They're at the doorstep.
Anyone in the NFC North? The Lions good enough? The Packers are good enough, and I would say the Vikings are good enough only if they stick with Carson Wentz.
Wow,
they just keep going to their backup.
You had me stretched out there. Ooh, you had me stretched out there with the Detroit Lions, but not. But I'm not going to go that far to say the Vikings. No chance.
So, according to FanDuel, of the top 7 teams, odds-wise, to win the Super Bowl, 2 of them are in the NFC North. The Packers have the 4th best odds at plus 750, and then the Lions are tied for 6th with the Chargers at plus 1500.
We all said the Lions and the Ravens are Super Bowl worthy. One of them is going to be 1 and 2 after tonight.
Yeah, and I feel like is this
unless
an
there's a
elimination
tie.
game? Well, that's true. It would be huge. This would be one of the biggest ties in NFL history.
Don't make me stay up for that.
Wait, wouldn't it be?
Stay up for a tie.
I love a good tie.
It delays everything. Like, you don't judge the Lions or the Ravens. It might be, honestly, I'm cheering for a hardcore tie.
You're rooting to not have to judge these teams tomorrow when we do the show?
Because think about it. Nobody wants to do that to the Detroit Lions. They're fun. They got Dan Campbell. They got this potentially offense that could be really good. Certainly nobody wants to do that to the Baltimore Ravens. Nobody wants to check out on Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. A tie here would be amazing. Just let everybody just sit on it for a little bit. Wow, the AOs are going crazy. Let everybody just sit a little bit and just, relax. We don't have to just watch an entertaining game. Nobody won.
Right.
I like it.
I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed of you. I mean, seriously.
Which part?
I mean, we watch games. We rip people the morning after. That's what we do. I mean,
you were just proud of me.
So we don't have to
you
do
were just proud of me like 5 minutes ago.
I was. That's because you were using your gut and what you see on television to judge AJ Brown.
Right.
And in this case, what you're doing is saying, no, I want to tie, so we don't really have to talk about the game tomorrow.
Fine. Okay, I don't want to tie. But damn it, a tie would be interesting. It would be a great way for that game to end. But can we talk about the biggest loser yet?
Who?
It's Bill Belichick, isn't it? Like, I know it's a little secret because after week 1, nobody wants to look down there. But man, does he look like somebody who is not in control of his own life. Like his football team is playing horribly. Every time you look, his girlfriend is down on the sideline, like apparently telling him something that's super important. And I'm like, I feel like Bill Belichick is in hell. Like I'm in quarterback hell. He's just in hell. Like, and he might think he's in heaven because it's Carolina blue, but it's hell. And I'd like to know to the man who should be paying attention to this the most, from Taylor, where are you, man, with Bill Belichick and his ability to carry this organization? Because Jordan, his girlfriend, seems to be right in the middle of everything, and it's exactly what everybody was afraid of.
One might call it Helicheck.